What up, Jay?
Man, I'm having a good, beautiful Thursday morning. It's nice outside. I'm chilling.
It is.
Yeah.
It is barely t-shirt weather, but it's there.
Just we're right there,
it's
and I'm
like,
loving
eh.
it. Soon I'll have some color again.
Yeah. You know, last year I had a campaign to get elementary school black. I didn't realize how much you need to be outside to get that dark. You literally need to be spending every day outside for damn near 8 hours to get as black as I used to get as a kid. Yo.
Well,
it is not easy to achieve that level of mahogany.
I just want to not be chicken broth colored. So
there we go. That's an appropriate goal.
Right.
Wanted to follow back up after our video.
Yep.
Really excited. First of all, thankful that you were available and willing to shoot this video.
Yeah.
Water, which I've shared in some of my diaries already. Water was really the first song that I was therapeutically working on after no longer working with the city, and it's that period that it's been absolutely magical, this time I've had to myself.
Yeah.
And felt like the appropriate song to shoot a video to. At the time when I asked you, I didn't know you, because you have a whole show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I said in a comment that you posted yesterday, like, this is fun time for me. Like, we're buddies, and this is literally, like, generally, this is two kids in the playground to me. This is fun. Like, this is not work per se, and this is, I wish that I could just work this way all the time. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, we're going to put that in the universe. Universe, what Jay wants is for you to create a path that he can do exactly this all the time. There we go. We're going to put that out there in the world. Hey, whatever it is that would make you happy, wishing that come to you. Now, because we had the conversation yesterday, there's one part that you don't like, which is the editing part.
Oh, right? No, I don't like it. I don't like it, but like I was saying yesterday, like I don't care what you are doing. Like, you love track, and there are parts to, I'm sure there are parts to whatever you did in track that you're like, I hate this part of it. And that just comes with it. Like, as a musician, I rarely am happy doing my scales and like trying to get myself to improv better. It's a brutal process that makes me better long term, but I don't like it. Right. But you got to do it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So not knowing that, once again, you have this idea of people, and seeing you evolve from, hey, I do music, I am a songwriter, watching you release your first video.
Yeah.
And then seeing you pick up. Did the photography come first, or the show? The show came first, right?
So it's a. I guess technically, when I got the camera for the show, the first thing I did was take a photo.
Okay.
Even though I knew I was going to be using it for streaming.
Okay.
And I think technically it's the photography bug jumped out first. Just literally, this is corny as hell, but like with the first click, I was like, oh, that was kind of cool, and I just wanted to keep doing it.
Right.
So yeah, literally.
And then it evolved into the videography. And so, in your opinion, which are you more comfortable with?
Oh, photography.
Okay.
I'm a photographer. I'm capable of using the camera for its video capabilities. There are times when I'm in a happy space doing it, but it is not my comfort zone. But part of that is, honestly, and if I'm being honest with myself, number one, I just like hearing the shutter click. I like it. It's just fun. But videography is way more complicated. I mean, you've seen that. There's so much more information, and there's a way steeper learning curve to do it right, and it can be frustrating. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, I guess, for me at least, easier to do photography. And maybe as I get more fluent, I'll enjoy it more. but photographer first for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you've been working with the camera, the videography. You've been working with the camera, but you chose to use the iPhone to shoot the video.
Yes.
Break that down. Tell me about that. When did you realize, hey, I think the appropriate way to go is this rather than that?
So it came down to two pieces, well, three pieces really. Number one is, since we're playing in the play box, in the sandbox, let's experiment and do something that I really haven't done and maybe wouldn't typically do, right? Mm-hmm. So number one, there's that. Number two, at this point, well, for a long time, phones are just really convenient and easy to manipulate. Like, I have a big boy not a big boy camera, but I have a nice photography camera that does video, but there are certain things that the phone does easier or better than a traditional photography camera, even in terms of just like stabilization. Right. You know, I don't need a whole gimbal necessarily to do that to keep the shot stable. Right. Past that, iPhones recently have gotten to a point, literally of the past 2 years, or maybe 3 at the most, where we talked about it, where you can shoot in a format called log that makes the image quality professional. And I was like, why not really figure out how to learn that process and see how it turns out? And it turned out pretty good.
Right. Yeah. I know nothing about that world, so it was interesting to see. Like, I've taken some video before, and I know, hey, go in the sun and all that, and it looks pretty good to me. Yeah. And then without the Apple log piece, and then so you sharing that with me was like, oh, yeah, I see the levels. And the video you shared with me, I was hanging in the video. I understood in theory what they were saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then I realized all of the editing aspects of just shooting in the regular iPhone that I would never have figured that out. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so like having a feature that I could just click. Yes. That sort of takes care of it. And then even you sharing some of the coloring with me yesterday, I was like, okay, now I know just playing around in my own phone. Yeah, you can do so much with it. Work around with stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to try to do some stuff with this and play around with it. Yeah. And not be afraid, really.
No, because listen, the worst case scenario is you just put reset and it goes back to how it was. Right, like it's nothing to sort of fear. That's one of the beautiful parts about like digital technology is you can screw it up over and over and you're not like wasting paper. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. Yeah. So, you know, in coming up with the idea for the video, you know, and really this whole process. So, you know, I've shared with people through my diary updates. I think this would be 19 or maybe something like that. Yeah. How just over the course of the last 10 years or 11 years of my best friend being gone, passing away, that although I was performing live, I recently realized I haven't really, and I was recording and doing all this stuff, I didn't share any of it. You know what I mean? And, there's a few stuff that I've done with Chris Marcel, which I've released, but for the most part, you know, like I have these 8-hour studio sessions where I'm bringing in other artists, other musicians, producers, really, and we're coming up with songs, and I ain't released none of that stuff.
Why not? Curious.
You know what? I think ultimately, I think it was a blockage dealing with my best friend's passing. And for those who don't know, he and I were in a group together. So, you know, just in terms of just not healing from that experience. So at some point my brain was like, oh, I'm missing creating. And so I would write songs on my guitar, but then it took a while to figure out, no, what I'm missing is creating in a studio and being able to create and go from we just said it out our mouth to the next step of it's going to become a song. Yeah. And so like with the guitar, it's like you can songwrite all you want, but it's like it's stuck on this guitar. You only hear it when you play it yourself. Yeah. So it was like, okay, I need to be able to get this out. You know, and so it took a while to just remember the process, really, and sort of feel what I was missing without knowing that's what I needed.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. So it was like, okay, now we're in these studio sessions and we're coming up with songs and oh, this is what I remember. This is how we created. And then so I would do this. I've even had videographers come in and document the whole thing, and then that's it. Done.
Interesting.
Matter of fact, I still haven't gotten some of this footage because I just didn't care enough to ask the person. I've been reaching out to them, so I'm gonna have to run up on them. But I need that footage now. You know what I mean?
Can I get that footage, player?
That I paid for.
Oh, okay.
But it literally was that, like, yeah, hey, I paid for the studio, baby, that I don't care. It was really just my therapy without really understanding it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So during this time since I haven't been working for someone else, was like, okay, what are all the ways that stop me from putting this stuff out? And it's always some excuse, like, oh, I need to do this, and I have to have this, and if I don't have this, I can't do this. And so I had on March 15th, I had my first listening party, which was based on me really booking all of that, like maybe the last week of February. So it really was like no turn. It might have been a month. It's around February 15th. I figured out, hey, I'm going to do this show in Baltimore. And it started with a listening party that was 2 songs, and then I kept creating, and it was 3 songs, and it was 4 songs, and it was 5 songs. It was like, okay, this is rolling. That sold out, and then we did the encore. And in the spirit of that was, I'm not going to let anything stop me from doing this. I'm not going to give myself an excuse like, hey, it's not this enough, you know? And so after I did the last show, I realized I went back into the loop of, I need this thing in order to move forward. And so I knew it was the music video needed to happen. And so I saw myself, okay, I'm gonna rent a car and I'm gonna go here and then
creating a way to make it difficult.
And I'm like, oh, I'm doing it again.
Right.
This ain't gonna come out. You know, so that's why I was like, hey, just keep it simple. I'm doing this now.
And I could tell that I mean, you even said that, honestly, that was kind of the spirit you wanted to bring to it, which again, it was like, let's keep it simple and just use our phone because it all ties in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like nothing to prevent me from coming up with an excuse to let that blockage come back again. You know? You know, I guess where most people may think about other people's opinion and stuff, like I'm not even there. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to stop me for whatever excuse I'm going to come up with.
Sure.
So, you know, coming in, after I realized I was doing that and having the 5 scene with multiple cars, I need to rent a car from Toro and all this stuff. I was like, yo, boom. Jay, boom. He was like, hey, come on over. When I initially thought it was just me in the suit. And then I was like, on the way over, I was like, hey, oh no, let me grab this jacket.
Oh, that was day of.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was like,
because it would be dramatically different without those changes.
Yeah.
It was just enough.
But once again, I wasn't going to allow myself to come up with something that was going to prevent it from happening. So once you said it was literally all I had was the suit. And I was going to go through breaking down from what it was to having less on. And then it was like, okay, no, let me grab this and, you know, work on these other parts. So when we got there, I still didn't even think of, a standing version, sitting version. I just knew that there would be another scene.
That, and, you know, you already talked about the process, but like for me, that's the fun part for me.
Right.
It's like you have a plan, but sort of the natural process of art is, you got a plan, but it's going to deviate for a lot of different reasons, and being flexible enough to know that you need to add more without being like you got to add too much more.
Right.
That balance, and that's the fun part for me. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know exactly where we're going, but we're going to get there.
We're like, we're going to feel our way through it. And again, I think that where I am right now, I need to, like you said, we're just having fun. You know, these songs that I've written in this period have literally been therapy, having fun. I produced this song myself. I've done it before, but that's not something I do. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
But I'm like, yo, I can't allow myself. Hey, can you send me some tracks? Oh, God, I don't like that one. Oh, I need to come in the studio with you to build. No, we're just gonna move. So it was cool coming in there and just going through that process of shooting and not really knowing, not really having anything mapped out. Now, I think the other aspect was after we shot and you were like, hey, let me go through it, I started to realize, I was like, oh, we may not have shot enough.
Right.
I'm like, yo, we might end up with like these dead spaces where we don't have stuff. So
Right.
now going back and thinking about it, yeah, we probably should have shot each one of those, the two different outfits and the two outfits standing, sitting twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we only shot it one time, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Like just enough, just barely squeaking by, getting it done the right way. That is the most fun part to me. Like that's what I enjoy. You know what I mean?
And not knowing what we needed, because it wasn't until we were sitting down editing that I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep.
Let's see if we get through all of this with everything that we need, you know? So, you know, again, like completely appreciate your the spirit, our spirits aligning to both be in the same place with this process, you know what I mean? And I think also with it being new for you and a new experience for me, we didn't come with our education, you know what I mean? We didn't come with our, this is how we do it, you know what I mean? And sort of interrupting the magic from happening. Now, in terms of the video, what we have now, you know, I'm really happy because, you know, the suit scene or is the storyline.
For sure.
And the other scenes are sort of me performing the song, a little bit of storyline in there too, but it's really me performing the song. And for yourself, when I sent you the song, your original thought or whatever you saw when you heard the song and what has been produced now, how far off
Way
is it?
far.
Okay.
Like way far. And again, that's the fun part for me, because it's like you give somebody a set of tools and you say, this is what you got to do within this time frame. That's fun. But I honestly do a similar thing where it's like my first thoughts tend to be, in as much as I like simplicity, my first thoughts tend to be grandiose. Right. And like specifically with you, for whatever, well, not for whatever reason, like because I know you're Jamaican and like you, I see water and I see boats and I see like, you know, it's the song's called Water. There ain't no water in the video, you know what I'm saying? We got to be on the water with the boat and like it's going to give you a sunset. And I see all of these big grand scenes, which would be dope. Right. But it's like, hold on. What can we do with a week? Yeah. And basically no budget and still make it good.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, no, if you'd have given me, like, Jay, we got to get this video done by next year, I'd be like, all right, the first thing we're going to do is take some footage down in Lewis. We're going to rent a boat and we're going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
Yeah, I'm glad, you know, because like I said, writing the song, I had no idea that there would be a video for the song. You know what I mean? And a lot of my songs, I'm pretty sure, I don't think I write complicated songs.
Which is a good thing.
I write, you know, I forget what I was reading, and it basically just says, you know, the beauty is being able to tell whatever story in the least amount of words. You know what I mean? And so, but when I wrote it, like I said, it was just therapy. I was just playing around, really learning this thing, and I didn't have an idea. So, you know, looking at the video now, it very much, I feel like also the audience as well. You know
what do you mean?
Because I didn't have a particular written down treatment where this thing has to be this. It's like I'm watching it like, oh, that's what we made. I love it. You know what I mean? And that was helpful and healthy for me too, to be able to be creator but also audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we've shot the video. Shout out to Omar, 'cause he was the other set of eyes there. Um, we shot the video. It took us, I think, maybe 5 hours to edit with me there.
Oh.
I'm sure.
No, so I'm thinking, yeah,
The first
about
time
5
was 2 hours.
For
And,
sure.
yeah.
Yes, it was about 3. So, yep.
5 hours in total to edit. And I'm not sure how much time outside of that, like, you looked at it and whatnot.
No, before we started editing, I started playing around with color grading it, but that wasn't like formal work time. So
Got you.
Yeah.
So what is the next step as you see it?
color grading it.
Okay.
That's pretty much what it is. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, basically, you're literally manipulating the colors of the file to make it look a certain way. So if I want him to be brighter, if I want him to be darker, if I want him to, all the different ways that you can imagine how a photograph could be in terms of the colors and how you can balance things. You do the same thing with video, and it's actually more complicated. But yeah, the next process, and maybe the final process, depending on what we decide, is just getting the colors right.
Got you. I mean, again, the simplicity of all of this is like, hey, to me, it's like, okay, once that step is done, it's like, I don't know of another step needed. You know what I mean? Like, when you were breaking it down, he was like, hey, I can cut you out and make sure this is
there
done.
are endless possibilities.
And I'm like,
it's another one of those things where you can easily create too much necessity to the point where it's an unnecessary hurdle.
Got you.
I mean? Yeah.
So yeah, that was dope, and just again, appreciative of you taking this musical journey with me, this videography journey with me, but also being a part of my healing.
Yeah, man.
And can't wait for people to see it, but hopefully getting the message out of it, which is sometimes life is rough. You know what I mean? And you can feel under the water, and you can feel like, maybe there's no hope, and you have these responsibilities. And I don't even know if the song is written with a necessarily hey, you can get to the other side. You know what I mean?
Right,
it was
right.
really written in the moment.
Yeah, this is where I am right now.
This is where I am now. But I'm hoping that when other people see the song, see the video, because at first it will not be on streaming platforms. It will only be on YouTube. That's the only version of it. And then we'll figure it out how to get it on, not figure out, but we'll at some point put it on the music platforms and all of that. So hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah,
I got a couple other songs.
1,000%.
And I know we already started talking about, hey, we want to go outside.
Yes, have to.
And
Gotta get the sunlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We want to go outside. I think the next song that I wanted to work on is a song called Wyclef Jean.
Oh, okay.
And it's about we may need to take a trip to Nashville. That's where I initially
Listen,
saw.
I'm gonna give me a hot chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
That's all you had to say.
Yeah, because it's not difficult. I mean, Avella has flights going to Nashville for $79. You know what I mean? And that song was really written just being in Nashville for this conference, and I'd never seen. I don't even know what the main road is. If you're down there, you know it. If you know Nashville, you probably know it. I did perform on the street a little bit. Got some footage of that. Guy let me use his guitar and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
But what I was blown away by was every store, every bar. I'd never seen that much music ever. I mean, literally, they're packed next to each other. There's no alley in between these places. There's bar. What do you call it? Souvenir shop, bar.
Yep.
And I'd never seen that many artists performing in one place. But what struck me was on the right side of all of these businesses, doing music, keeping the culture alive, and on the left side, on the ground, were all these artists who, in my mind, came here to be stars. And addiction and mental health and whatever happened to them. And now they're sitting down begging, looking at why they came there. And it was just so striking to me. So I wrote the song because it was, one, a writing exercise to write a song as if you're someone people compare you to. And in my career, people have compared Brown Fish to the Fugees because at different points they were me and Ooh and B Fly performing. So it was just easy. And I played the guitar. So it was just easy to make that connection. So I wrote the song as if I was Wyclef.
Interesting.
But the actual point of the song really is, as artists struggling with addiction, and so that's a subject that's close to me, and I'm hoping that we can have an opportunity to figure out how to tell that story that's impactful for the millions of artists who are billions of artists who are out there, either the largest stars on stage and those who haven't, they're still writing their songs in their book. But so yeah, I look forward to trying to pull that off.
No, 100%. And I love that concept. I know you kind of brought it up last time a little bit when we were just working on the video, but that's dope.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we are a whole, I don't even know how long we're into this. Oh, this is wild if it's not recording.
I don't know.
It potentially is not recording anymore. So
run out of space.
So no, it may have, no, we're damn near 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So appreciate you, bro.
Of course, man. I'm looking forward to dropping it and watching the response. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, boom, diary entry number. And appreciate you listening, and see you next time.